First official season of Lion's Den's podcast. Episode 1 entitled Simply I'm Done. When I think about all that I've invested in our relationship as I seemingly walk away with nothing, oh, stop. Another lie. Although I'll not walk away with resentments, regret, anger, coulda, woulda, shoulda, I will leave with invaluable lessons learned. And because you are a thorough professor, there'll be no return. Simply, I'm done. What if I told you that a conversation, a series of conversations, could impact your quality of life in unmeasurable proportions? Well, I created this forum called Lion's Den's Podcast with me, LionMann, that's designed to inspire, educate, motivate, encourage, and put a fire under your feet that'll have you running toward those sleeping dreams, visions, and desires that's been dormant way too long. Let's have a conversation. And if someone else is out there, gripped by rejection to where you're compromising who you are to be a part of, to be accepted, then my hope is you'll have an experience that I had. And the experience I'm speaking of is a simply I'm done experience. Not simply I'm done, I'm going to off myself. Not simply I'm done, I'm going to find a way to numb my emotions. I mean, simply I'm done because I love me enough. I care enough about me. I'm valued enough. That I don't have to mistreat myself. And so simply, I'm done mistreating myself. Let me take a moment to just think about that. Think about some of the decisions and choices that you've made in your life. Where was these decisions motivated from? Are you motivated by fear of being a part of, fear of rejection, fear of abandonment issues? What behavior have you displayed just to be accepted? Does it compromise your core value system? Because see, we can numb ourselves from our value system. But if we do some work, we can get in touch with exactly what that value system is that we have numbed ourselves to, and be able to then dissect all the madness and see where I've made so many decisions. And I can say that the majority of the decisions I made and more of my life that I lived than I have not lived. And let me make that make sense to you. When I say more of my life that I've lived that I've not lived, it wasn't until 2017, my last suicide attempt, I found myself paralyzed for a number of days from my neck down, sitting up in ICU for a period of time, when God, of my understanding, spoke to me and told me that leaving Earth this way was not an option. That the power for me to take my own life was not present within me. And that that decision remained solely in His hands. And He delivered that message to me. I knew that lesson, and I knew that word, and I knew that voice, and I knew that statement, and I knew that direction, that information was to be true. And so I got up from there, and I said, if I have to still live on this earth, then I'm not going to live bound by the same fears that I've lived thus far. And although that was a preliminary, simply I'm done moment, it was the beginning So when I say more life that I've lived than I have not lived, I didn't start living life until 2017. That's when living life started for me. And here I am. And I can tell you that Simply I'm Done is based off of writing that I wrote. Going through a period of time where I began to write a lot. And this would be the actual first thing I wrote. And the first thing I wrote was Simply I'm Done. There is no time better than the present. I procrastinated long enough. I've allowed your lives to take me as far as I'm going to go. I told you, this ends now. And whether you believe me or not, I could care less. I've drawn my line in the sand, and I've reached my broke point. Simply, I'm done. I bet you thought I gave you the best years of my life. No worries, I almost bought into that lie as well, which would have left me depressed and an empty vessel of hope. However, I only gave you my younger days. Simply, I'm done. My best years are yet to come. When I think about all that I've invested in our relationship, as I seemingly walk away with nothing. Oh, stop. Another lie. Although I will not take with me resentments, regret, anger, coulda, woulda, shoulda. I will leave with invaluable lessons learned. And because you were such a thorough professor, there will be no need to return. Simply, I'm done. Yes, simply, I'm done. I wrote that at a time in my life where I was actually dealing with another Simply I'm Done chapter in my life. However, it addresses all the different chapters of my life where I came to a place where I had to draw a line in the sand and say simply I'm done. Now, it's a process. Simply I'm Done is not an event. It is something that will take shape in different areas of your life at different times of your life. And adversity hits us at different times and in different ways. But I'm here to share with you that adversity is there to forge the greatness that's within you. At least that's what I found out to be the case for myself. So I found it only fitting to begin the first official season of LionMann's podcast with LionMann, with the first writing I created, or I wrote, labeled, entitled, Simply I'm Done. Because without Simply I'm Done, I don't stand here today. Without Simply I'm Done, I still stand in the midst of all the adversities that were gripping me. And I thought it very fitting that the Simply I'm Done moment that I chose to do this series on was addressing where the foundation of adversity gripped me, right? My fears was the first thing that grabbed a hold of me in my youth, in my infancy even. Fear of rejection, fear of not being a part of, fearing of not being accepted, fear of abandonment. These issues and these fears in my life formed and shaped me, where every decision and choice and behavior that came out of me was all rooted and based in those fears. And because of those decisions and behaviors and choices led me to other Simply I'm Done moments. Because the behavior, the decisions, the choices led me down a road of engaging in unhealthy coping skills that would leave a trail of damage and wreckage. So don't get discouraged wherever you are in your process. Just keep plugging away at it Get up each day knowing that you have a blank sheet and a new opportunity to move forward. And that was even a struggle for me to get there. Because as you see, there's suicide ideations in my story. And I didn't want that new day, that blank sheet, because I didn't see the benefit in having that. Thank God today I see the benefit in a new day. See, there's things that we hear over and over again that because we hear them so much, we minimize the impact they can have on our life. Right? Like joy comes in the morning. Forgetting those things that are behind. Right? Being focused on today because yesterday is gone and tomorrow's not promised. We hear these said so much that we don't realize the importance and the impact that this can have on our lives. Because that new day is really what helped get me through my last chapter. Well, I would say my most recent of chapters that I've moved through in my Simply I'm Done. I'm quite sure if I continue to move forward, there will be different areas of Simply I'm Done in my life. However, they won't be as catastrophic as the ones I faced over my past years and decades. So I just want to encourage someone. I want to inspire someone. I want to uplift someone. There's greatness being forged in you right now, where you sit in your process. My hope is that my message will help bring awareness to whatever your situation is, so that you can see a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel. There's no monopoly on moving forward. There are different methods, different ways to come about being aware and game plan of moving forward. I'm just offering mine. Also, there will be guests that will be coming and sharing throughout this new season their story of how they overcame, what they went through, and offering some suggestions and some words of encouragement and inspiration. And hopefully that will also bring an awakening to you as well, or an awareness to you as well, that will may inspire and spark change in your life. And also help you dodge some of the roadblocks that we may have went through, that by sharing it, you can see it from afar and you can bypass it. That's also a hope that comes from this. Simply, I'm done. Write your line in the sand. Make your mark. See, you hear that thing that say that until the pain of staying the same, right? Until the pain of change is lesser than the pain of staying the same, change won't happen. That don't always have to happen that way. However, adversity does forces us into those places. That's forging. That's forging that greatness out of you. This is what adversity is what it breeds. See, a great man said to me, he said to me, life is cruel, but it's fair. Because everybody gets a turn. Everybody gets a turn. I just want to also take and give dedication or dedicate this first episode to that great man who inspired my life greatly. This is also an origin of where my name comes from this man. And that man, Pastor Fletcher Lee. And I owe him a lot because even to this day, God rest his soul, I'm still chewing off of and growing from what he put into me, what he poured into me, what he shared with me. And I'm forever grateful for that. See, I had help getting to my simply I'm done place. That's the reason why I stand here now offering my life, my adversities, right? My experience to help someone else. Because I had help getting here. If it had not been for the different people in my life, even those that I thought were giving me a lot of grief, every single person, good, bad, or indifferent, played a part in helping me get to my simply I'm done, so that I can then begin to evolve into my becoming. And I give honor to Fletcher Lee as I stand here with the foundational piece to my episode, Simply I'm Done, in my season. Because he was the foundation for me to start addressing and looking at things and getting understandings out of life. Like, that was where the ground began to open. And it was a slow process for me. I was a knucklehead. A lot of stuff, I got information, and then I made self-defeating decisions. You don't have to do that. I'm telling you, I've done it for you. Right? I'm saying there's value in taking suggestions. There's value in listening to the experience of another so that you don't have to go that same path. That old saying, don't put your hand on the stove because it's hot, it'll burn you. See, I'm letting you know that because I've already burnt myself. You don't have to burn yourself. Today, I stand and I'm thankful and I'm grateful. As I say, simply, I'm done. I'm done with living my life in fear. I'm done of living my life chasing after pleasing people. I'm done in my life using unhealthy coping skills to manage my discomfort and my emotions. I'm done not embracing me and seeing my value and worth in me. And I'm done not believing that I'm not enough, because I am enough. I'd like to thank you for tuning in. Now, every Wednesday, tune in to my YouTube channel, LionMann's Podcast with me, LionMann. And let's have a conversation. Thank you.